Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming this evening. It's wonderful to see you all here. I have chosen this form of media to give my speech for Austyn this evening because every time I tried to speak out loud in front of people, I ended up crying. The biggest problem if I do end up crying is that I tend to go inaudible and squeak, so only bats could hear me. So I've decided this is the only way that I'll be able to get it all out so you guys can actually hear and understand me. So here goes. I closed my eyes for a moment, and suddenly a man stood where my little boy used to be. Congratulations to you, Austyn. You have shown courage, character, strength and determination to be standing here today as part of the Royal British Navy. Now you are part of a team that values selflessness, commitment, discipline, integrity, loyalty and respect at its core. There are just so many people to thank. Thanks must go to my mum and dad, who helped raise Austyn in the early parts of his life. Thanks to Phil, who's always fixing whatever Austyn breaks. Thanks to the equestrian community, who embraced and loved Austyn for the wild child he was/is. Thanks especially to Malcolm Rosewarne, Tim Anthony and Scott Clackworthy for their guidance and first-hand knowledge of the Navy to support Austyn not only in his application but during his basic training. Thank you to everyone who has helped play a part in his journey so far, our wonderful friends and family. When I told my dad I was pregnant, he cried. Dad was due to go to Derriford to have most part of one of his lungs removed. It was touch and go if he would even survive. He was very unwell and it was a nightmare travelling up and back around work as Mum wasn't brave enough to drive the trip. Dad told me that knowing his first grandchild was on the way gave him the strength to keep fighting at his absolute worst. Mum and Dad were then the first people to see Austyn when he was born in hospital. Austyn's journey to this point hasn't always been plain sailing. From his father dropping him on his head at 48 hours old, that explains a lot, I expect you're thinking. Nursery was a journey within itself. He was basically almost thrown out of Montessori for biting and posting everything he could get his hands on in the bins. I quickly knew that their way wasn't for him. Oasis, as part of Ludgvan School, was the most wonderful place for Austyn. They adored him and his beautiful curly locks. But he was so damn cute, he got himself into all sorts of trouble. They allowed Austyn to come with them one day into the office. Now in the office is a big red button. And yes, you guessed it, Austyn had to press the button. Now, as per protocol, with an unscheduled fire alarm, the fire brigade had to be called out and attend. Oasis had to be evacuated into Ludgvan School. The reception class of Ludgvan School had to be evacuated into Class 1, and even the baby room had to be evacuated, all in a force 10 gale and steer rod rain. All because my son is so damn cute. Austyn absolutely excelled in Ludgvan Primary School, being one of the top students in his SATs when he left. Secondary school was a harder thing. Lockdown, Nanny having a terminal diagnosis, Austyn's rebellious, headstrong nature emerged with vengeance. I don't know where he gets it from. I also want to apologise to Austyn for choosing the wrong school for him. School is a place where kids are squished into boxes, and Austyn is never going to be that sort of person. With losing Nanny and Grandad, Austyn's secondary school years were tough, but he managed to get all his GCSEs he needed for his next adventure, no looking back. Austyn's journey through horses has, in my opinion, set him up for the man he has become. With horses, you learn that hard work and determination can often be beaten by lady luck. You to pick yourself up every time you fall down, that consistency in training always pays off, that a horse will only break your heart when it dies. Austyn never thought this, but he was one of the best young riders in the Southwest, proved by his selection out of hundreds of young riders for the under-18 eventing teams. And although he has moved forward, leaving horses behind, Austyn will unknowingly be using the lessons they have taught him and take the love of the people who supported him as an equestrian in his own right forward into his life as a man in the Royal Navy. Enough said about horses. I expect Austyn's rolling his eyes. After moving on from horses, Austyn played rugby for the Penwith Pirates. He was also rather good at being one of the fastest on the team. He helped the team to have a successful 23-24 season. So, I am a boy, Mum. I keep my eyes on the goal, raising the boy I love into a man who will make this world a better place. And being raised as a firstborn really sucks, because basically you're being raised by people who don't have kids. And let's face it, no one wants to be a pilot's first flight. The saddest part about motherhood is raising the one person you can absolutely not live without, to be able to live without you. Little boys can test your patience, wrung you ragged, and make you want to pull your hair out. But they will also melt your heart with just one look at those big brown eyes and make you wonder how you ever existed before them. A mother's love doesn't make her son more dependent and timid. It actually makes him stronger and more independent. To be a mother of a son is one of the most important things you can do to change the world. Raise them to respect women, raise them to stand up for others, and raise them to be kind. If you would have your son walk honourably through the world, you must not attempt to clear the stones from his path, but to teach him to walk firmly over them. Not insist upon leading him by the hand, but to let him go alone. Now I have a poem for you that I did not write. This new job I've been given is awfully hard to do, but I gladly will accept it and give all my love to you. In my heart I know that you are a man. I will try my best to remember and support you when I can. But this journey you are making with courage and with pride is a challenge to a mother, and sometimes a lonely ride. The tears, they come too often, for I miss you every day. But the pride I feel inside me helps me wash them all away. My child, you will always be safe in your mother's heart, and those memories will have to do for now as long as we are apart. I'll wait here for the phone calls, precious is each one, and look forward to the visits until your job is done. Just remember this forever, I will always be right here, and honour your commitment to this country we all hold so dear. You have now become part of the Navy with the greatest history in the world. You are standing on the shoulders of those who have come before you. I can promise you, Austyn, that I will always be in one of three places: in front of you to cheer you on, behind you to have your back, or next to you so you will never be alone. So let me finish in the words of His Majesty King George VI. Nobody can lead unless he has the gift of vision and the desire in his soul to leave things a little bit better in the world than he found them. He will strive for something which may appear unattainable, but which he believes in his heart can one day be reached, if not by him, by his successors, if he can help pave the way. The most important mark I will leave on this world will be my son. No pressure. May you have fair winds and following seas. Please everyone raise a glass to Austyn.